You're watching India Today Global. This is the big story that is developing at this point in time. The Doda terror attack. Pakistan is at it again. 4 army personnel, including Captain Brijesh Thapa, Naik D. Rajesh, Sepoy Bijendra and Sepoy Ajay Naruka, along with a police officer, were killed in a gunfight with heavily armed terrorists in Jammu Kashmir's Doda district on Monday. The attack was claimed by Kashmir Tigers, a shadow group of the Pakistan-backed terrorist organization Jaish-e-Mohammed. The encounter began when the Rashtriya Rifles and the Special Operations Group of the Jammu and Kashmir Police launched a joint cordon and search operation in the Dhari Gote Urarbagi area of the Desa forest belt. Now, the troops launched the operation late Monday evening around 7:45 p.m. After a brief exchange of fire, the terrorists attempted to escape but were pursued by the troops despite challenging terrain and thick foliage. We do understand that the attacks continue, and we are seeing that this is a developing story. To discuss a little more on why this is happening now and what are the repercussions and ramifications of Pakistani-based terror attacks into India on Indian soil, I'm being joined in this exclusive conversation with Mr. S.P. Vaid. He was the former top cop of Jammu and Kashmir. Mr. Vaid, thank you so much for joining us here on India Today Global. We know the month, we know that it's summers, we know that you've seen a lot of terror attacks that have increased because of, that increases during the summer months. But let me just ask you what the motive of Pakistan looks like this time around at this point, at this juncture.
See, the motive could be multiple. The deep state of Pakistan had shifted terror from Kashmir to Jammu for multiple reasons. And motive, your question is specific that why this time? I think the sudden spurt after having a lot of incidents in Rajouri Poonch in last one and a half year was the initial attack happened in Riyasi, if you recall, on Yatri bus coming from Shiv Khodi, when Prime Minister's new cabinet was getting sworn in. Prime Minister was taking oath for the third time. And after that, you saw a series of incidents, one in Kathua, Hiranagar, then Udhampur, a VDC man was killed. Kathua, Hiranagar, 2 foreign terrorists were killed. Then there was an attack in Bhadrawa, then Gando, and then you saw in Bilawar Tahsil, Mashedi of Kathua district, another attack where we lost army personnel, I think 5 of them, and now yesterday's incident, unfortunately, in Desa, Doda district. Now, this, number one, these attacks are definitely puncturing the very narrative of the BJP government that after abrogation of Article 370, the situation has returned to normalcy. No doubt about it's in Kashmir. Kashmir Valley had actually seen a lot of improvement on all parameters. Then, if you recall, about 3 years back, how targeted killing was started to counter this narrative. And after that, it took about a year for the police to overcome, completely get over that also. But then I think a well thought out strategy was chalked out in across the border, and the deep state of Pakistan thought of, Jammu region had been peaceful for last about 15-16 years. I think I was IG Jammu from 2004 to 2008.
Exactly.
I think after 2007-8 onwards, there was absolutely, this region was terrorism free. And because of that, it's natural that forces were, there a lot of gaps came, forces were withdrawn, RR units, the CAPF were withdrawn. So Jammu suits ideally for such terror attacks because there are so many gaps, there's very little deployment. The SOG of J&K police also became dysfunctional and VDCs became dysfunctional. So that could be one reason for why it is shifted to Jammu region. The other is there was a lot of pressure of the security grid in Kashmir Valley, and terrorists they were at the receiving end after abrogation of Article 370 and Operation All Out. and they were not able to do any major incident or attack after Pulwama, if you recall, which was followed by we are
Right.
responding in a big way. Now, pressure in Kashmir needed to be eased. How do you do that? And similar thing is eyeball to eyeball deployment in Indo-China border in Ladakh. I think China and Pakistan are they are together in this. How do you ease pressure? Involve Jammu region. The Jammu region is largely hilly compared to Kashmir Valley,
Hmm.
and in hills the hills absorb a lot of troops. So you need a lot of troops in hill area to be covered because uh, you have one village in this mountain, the another village in another mountain, and ideally Jammu was suited for this kind of heightened activity of terrorism. So I think the easing pressure, spreading the troops deployment to Jammu region, obviously it will involve a lot of withdrawals from somewhere.
You
Now,
make a very important point, sir. If I could just understand the first area that you touched upon, which is India, which is Pakistan and China. We know that there has been shift. If you could explain why the shift, a lot of focus has been on Kashmir and the fact that the area needs to be secure. So we are seeing a shift from Kashmir to Jammu. But are you also looking at it from your security perspective? Do you see a lapse at all?
pardon me, do you see?
A lapse in security or intelligence?
Yes, see, lapse in the sense that we in Jammu region, because of lull and peace of last 15 years, forces were withdrawn and there were a lot of gaps. I think that should not have been, though it's natural that when once you don't see any big incident for many years, so it is natural that one thinks that now every peace has returned, so take the forces to some other theater. I think that should not have. Jammu has been underestimated by the security grid. And number two, uh, I think there's some gaps in the international border and the LOC where infiltration has taken place. Now, most of these incidents you are seeing in Jammu region, whether it is Rajouri Punch for last one and a half year, and now incidents in Riyasi, Hiranagar Kathua, Mashedi, Bilawar Kathua, and Doda. All these incidents are being done by foreign terrorists. That is, they're all Pakistanis. They are not Jammu based terrorists. Now,
Interesting.
all these Pakistani terrorists are able to infiltrate inside, whether it is from the line of control or the IP. And the local terrorism in Jammu is not existing. There were some people in Jammu region who had joined terrorist ranks and gone in the 90s and 2000 to across the border, and then they settled there. I think their services have been used by the ISI and the deep state to help these foreign terrorists who are highly trained, who have been trained in mountain warfare, jungle warfare, have been given M4 American carbine rifles. They have also managed to procure Chinese app for communication, which cannot be intercepted. They are using the steel-coated bullets, which can pierce the bulletproof vehicles. All this, the upgradation in technology, and all these highly trained terrorist group would need some support structure within this part of the India. So
Right.
the Jammu region generally, you see people are very supportive of the government, but then I think services of those terrorists who had gone across in the 90s and early 2000s settled there, realizing that they will not be able to come this side. I think their services, because they have contacts here, they have their peer group, they have their friends, they have some they have been communicating with their people. I think some of them, their services have been used to cultivate local network in Rajouri Punch initially, and then now Kathua and Doda, and that is what these terrorists, foreign terrorists, are using.
Well,
So as I said, there are no local terrorists in Jammu region.
right, that's a very interesting point you make, that there are no local terrorists. But larger perspective, Mr. Vaid, I know that there's a lot involved when it comes to the modus operandi within, and you've served there, you know the lay of the land. But in terms of how security forces handle the situation in Kashmir and how it is handled in Jammu, is there a vast difference?
There is a vast difference. The security grid in Kashmir is very robust, and the reaction time is very fast. As I said, Jammu Kashmir Valley is very plain area. Each village is connected. Accessibility is very fast. Whereas Jammu region, you take yesterday's incident, Desa has only one road in the middle of a big rugged mountain. So you have only one way to go and return. Uh, Here, the connectivity is very poor. There would be one road or two roads, and then from one, you have to trek for hours together, 4 hours, 5 hours, to go from one village to the other village. That is not true of Kashmir. So Kashmir is a plain valley surrounded by mountains, whereas Jammu region has all these Pir Panchal range mountains, which are very high mountain, thick forest, foliage coverage, which actually gives a lot of hiding places to terrorists, and a lot of difficulty to troops to track the high mountains. So taking advantage of this terrain, the Jammu regions actually suits the this new wave of terrorism.
Are you, in your appreciation, Mr. Vaid, are you looking at an increase in such activity from Pakistan? And it's not to do with summers, it has to do with how they're looking at Jammu and Kashmir and how they're looking at India after the recent elections. Do you see a heightened activity? Is the Kashmir desk in Pakistan more active now?
Yes, I think in the days to come, these incidents are going to increase, and unless we are able to check infiltration, that's the point I have been emphasizing again and again. As there are no local terrorists, our success lies in ensuring that anti-infiltration grid is robust. But we must accept this. This is a fact. All these incidents, the spurt in these incidents have happened because these terrorists were able to infiltrate either from the LOC or from the IB sector. And that's why you're seeing all these incidents. Once these terrorists are eliminated, if we are able to stop any more infiltration, you will be able to succeed in restoring peace. But then if they are able to push in more terrorists from the IB or the LOC, I think you are going to see a spurt in activities in the days to come.
And in your appreciation, why do you see, if there is a reading on Pakistan, why do we see this increase from Pakistan at a time when we're looking at attacks within Pakistan? There have been a lot of incidents within Pakistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and the situation in terms of finances is not fine. The domestic politics absolutely in a shambles. At this juncture, why is the establishment so focused on Jammu and Kashmir? Does it particularly have to do with the India-China border? Does it particularly have to do with India's position vis-a-vis China? Or is it something that Pakistan is doing within its own realm to distract within its for its domestic audience? Why is it working?
Yes, there are, Geeta, multiple reasons. One is definitely nexus between China and Pakistan. China doesn't want India to be global power, and whatever could be done with the services of Pakistan deep state to stop India's march from becoming a big global power and big economy, which China is seeing as a competitor. That is number one. And it is facing tough time on the Ladakh border, so it doesn't want that situation to remain. Number two, Pakistan itself, within its own territory, has suffered huge, whether it is TTP or BLA or other groups, Pakistan is getting a lot of it, and the new army chief would like that there's a diversion to the people, showing them that look, incidents are taking place in Kashmir and Jammu Kashmir, and how we are able to do all this, because that sells in Pakistan, and
Exactly.
it actually will strengthen his position. So I'm told he is also his term is ending. He is looking for extension also. I think all those factors definitely have a reason behind this spurt in Jammu and Kashmir.
I know you're really short of time, so before I let you go, my final question to you. How do you see, and what would your opinion or recommendation be for the security forces in taking on the Pakistani establishment when it comes to the infiltration bids, the heightened situation at the border, and security situation at the border, and the heightened interest in having Pakistan-based militants and terrorists enter India, and why are they doing it right now?
See, Geeta, my personal view is, I think number one priority for India should be to ensure that we strengthen our anti-infiltration grid. Wherever there are gaps, they are identified. You have a very dubious neighbor. That is your bad luck and unfortunate. The only thing they can give to the world is terrorism, and that's what they have gifted. And they have no dearth of terrorists. They may be down economically, they may be down politically, socially, but their intentions, I have no doubt, there is no change in their intentions. They would continue with the same policy of bleeding India by 1,000 cuts. And I think we need to take all precautions that no more infiltration takes place, particularly in Jammu region. That needs to be ensured if you want peace to return. So I think the BSF leadership and the army leadership, both in the IB and LOC sector, must ensure that this does not happen. And number two, the police, local police, has to take action against those who are actually helping these terrorists. After all, they may be calling it Kashmir Tigers or Jammu, whatever Tigers. We all know it is Jaish-e-Mohammed of Pakistan. And a foreigner, Pakistani, would not know somebody is helping them, somebody is giving them food, somebody is transporting them, giving them shelter. I think such people need to be identified, and local police need to go after them. And third, I think it's high time that India needs to look into, we have technology, we have today drones which can hit inside without even crossing the LOC. And I think wherever there are launching pads and training centers must be destroyed. It's high time India responds. I think that there's a limit to which you can test the patience of a country.
It's high time India responds. That's a clear message coming in from Mr. S.P. Vaid. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us here on India Today Global.